Delhi NCR is now witnessing alarming rise in the pollution level post-Diwali. Now, despite a ban on firecrackers, the air quality has plummeted just overnight, pushing Delhi's air in the very poor category. This morning, residents woke up to a thick smog that has engulfed the entire city. The air quality readings are showing distressing numbers. If we speak about Delhi, the number stands at 359. If we speak about the adjoining city of Gurugram, it stands at 348. The neighbouring Ghaziabad at the moment is standing at 316 and Noida is just at the border 293, which means that all the air in all these areas is in the very poor category. Now, with Diwali, the streets have actually been littered with firecracker residue. The air quality crisis is also taking place. But there is another environmental hazard that is looming large over the national capital. The Chhath Puja is approaching. Devotees are preparing to gather at the Yamuna Ghat. They, in fact, will now be confronted with a daunting sight, a thick layer of toxic foam which has blanketed the entire stretch of Yamuna. Now, this frothy layer contains hazardous levels of ammonia and phosphate, and this poses a very serious health risk. There could also be respiratory issues along with skin problems with this toxic water at the moment, which is plaguing the river Yamuna.
This is next morning of Diwali, and Lodhi road area is considered to be green belt of the national capital. You will see a haziness in the sky. People have already started to leave here for their, possibly many of them moving towards their home, but they will have to cross this haziness that's surrounded the national capital right now. As the camera will pan left towards the left side, this is the Lodhi road area as well, and the situation is no better. So as you step out of your house, what you will witness first is a certain kind of haziness. Maybe you will think it's fog, but that's not the fact. The reality is that it's because of firecrackers which were burst last evening. That has changed the situation. All we can hope is that the wind speed improves in the national capital. That will bring a big relief.
We'll now tell you, we'll in fact break down the numbers for you. After Diwali, it is the national capital that is choking. Now let's look at today, this year, that is the year 2024. A day before Diwali, the number was 307, which means it was in the very poor category. On Diwali day, it stood at 328, which means it has now shifted from very poor to very, very poor category. Now, a day after Diwali, the number stands at 359, which means it's in the very poor category. Let's go back a year, which means 2023. A day before Diwali, the AQI was 220, which means it was poor. On Diwali day, it was 218, which was again very poor. And a day after Diwali, it was 358, which means it was in the very poor category. Let's go back 2 years, that is the year 2022. A day before Diwali, the AQI, that is the air quality index, was at 259, which means it was in the poor category. On Diwali day, it turned to 312, which meant it was very poor category. And a day after Diwali, it was 302, which meant it was in the very poor category. Now let's go back 4 years. Now we are coming to year 2021. A day before Diwali, it was 314, which means it was in the very poor category. Diwali day, it was 382, which was again very poor, and a day after Diwali, it was in the severe category, which means it was 462. The year 2020, a day before Diwali, it stood at 333, very poor. Diwali day, it turned to be 414, which means it was in the severe category. And a day after Diwali, it was 435, which means it was in the severe category. So we have seen how the AQI has been moving from very poor to very, very poor to the severe category and later to the hazardous category.